Welcome to the land of long-lived play, where greatness is always waiting, or so are technical difficulties. Welcome to the PlayStation Experience. It is I, your boy. Well, I already said that. See, I'm already just tripped up because all these wonderful technical difficulties that we're having as of late. Haley's got a new computer. Delvin's on a new computer that's not very great right now. Just fun times over in PSXP land. So how are you this morning, Delvin, since we can't see you because your computer can't process that?
How do I say this in the most nice, kindest way possible? Fuck this computer. I can't wait till my computer gets out the shop. That's what I can say. Good morning.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Computers, sometimes you just want to chuck them out the window, right?
Hey, I mean, look, my computer doesn't sound like a Boeing 747 this week, so...
Thank God.
One day we'll all have it together and we won't have all these technical difficulties. Hopefully that'll be next week when you have your actual computer.
No, we won't. But we can all hope for that.
Yeah, when is your computer supposed to be out of the shop?
It was supposed to be out of the shop last week Wednesday. Well, this past Wednesday.
Oh my God. What happened?
They said something about they couldn't depart because of COVID and some bullshit. Didn't get there yet, so they're waiting on the part. The part should be there by this week Wednesday.
Oh my God. And are they just replacing the keyboard?
Yes, because somebody, I don't know who it was, but I know who it was. I'm not going to say who it was. Wasted something in the keyboard. Mm-hmm. And so for the longest time, like certain keys wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. And it progressively got worse and worse. I'm like, okay, I need to just change this whole keyboard out. Otherwise, that was the only problem with the computer, by the way. That was the other thing. Everything else was perfect.
I would have just plugged in a USB keyboard because I'm lazy. Not even going to lie.
I was doing that for a long time. But it becomes tedious when you're trying to edit podcasts and do this, do that. And like, this is a mess. Yeah, I want to use the regular keyboard.
I think we need to build Delvin on the desktop. That's what it is. We just need to build you a desktop and call it a day. Build you an actual machine for editing and all of that good stuff.
Yeah,
it's getting to that point, honestly.
Maybe Delvin will be able to play some PC. No, he won't. He won't ever play.
No, not at all.
PC games. No. He's in that same boat with Donnie. Like, nope, not doing it.
I'll just do more elaborate podcasts.
Has a laptop capable of doing it too. He just doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He sold that to Rob.
Damn.
Yeah, he's got a desktop that'll play games, but he just, I get it. The PC experience sometimes can be a pain in the butt, like trying to figure out drivers. And if you don't keep your stuff updated, it makes it that much more difficult. So I understand it. The PC experience is not for everyone.
I mean,
but for Delvin, the man of 40,000 podcasts, he should have a nice desktop for editing and video purposes and all of those good things.
Yeah.
So
it's not my preferred place to play, but like, occasionally I'll pop in a PC game,
Yeah. And of course, as always, also joining us, you already heard her, the secretary of the spoil, the platinum princess herself, Miss Haley Nicole Miller.
Before I say 2 words, Delvin, did you do what I asked you to do?
I haven't done a goddamn thing.
I'm going to fucking kill you. I swear to God.
Already choosing violence.
Get in line.
Delvin, you better cover your ears. I'm fucking spoiling something right now.
Go ahead. Go ahead and spoil it. Be my guest. I already know what you're talking about, by the way.
Why are we spoiling
You know what I'm talking about? Why?
Yes.
Because I'm actually excited that we're getting good representation of a character that already had a movie. So, hi. As everyone knows, big Arrowverse fan here. Superman and Lois finally revealed the identity of the stranger, and it's not an alternate Lex Luthor. It's John Henry Irons,
Which is
otherwise
really
known
cool.
as Steel, from the hit movie that was not very well received with Shaq playing Steel.
We like to forget that exists. We can just say it's Steel, and we don't have to link back to that Shaq movie at all. We can just forget about that and just no.
I'm gonna shoot that movie some bail. That movie came out in a time where there wasn't that much representation of black characters in movies.
I mean,
there was
yes,
like
but
Meteor Man.
Oh my god!
What was it?
Man.
Blank Man.
Blank
and,
Man.
and probably and probably like Steel. That was probably it. Those were like the only three movies I can think of.
But no,
yeah.
I'm glad because it's nice to see
Yeah.
Steel in live action and done well, by the way. So
I agree. That's
very
cool.
excited to see where they go with it here. That's the only spoiler you're getting from me this week.
I don't believe that at all.
Yeah,
no,
right.
I mean,
Not one bit.
I mean, I could spoil the ending of Lucifer season 5, but I'm not going to do that because it came out yesterday, like literally yesterday, and I finished it this morning. So there was only 8 episodes because the first half of season 5 came out last year. So
that's right. This is 5B.
yes, yeah. So there were 16 episodes total because 5 was originally going to be the final season, and then they extended the season by 6 episodes, split it into 2 halves, and then the show got renewed for a 6th and final season. So I'm expecting we'll hear when the air date for the final season is during Netflix's little event happening next week. So that'll be nice. Finished that. Continued my Arrowverse rewatch. I'm now in season 5 of Arrow, season 3 of The Flash, season 2 of Supergirl, season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. You know, as one does. Back up to season 5 of The Vampire Diaries. Started season 1 of the originals. You know, still got tons of free time on my hands, but I got a job. I don't have a start date yet because background checks and everything. So
yeah. Well, at least you finally have a job. That's a good thing. But
I mean,
I'm sure you'll still watch as much TV as you already do. I don't know how you do this. You watch so much damn television.
I mean, I don't really watch movies. I just watch TV, really. Like, so.
Yeah.
So like
shenanigans.
The movies are good, but I generally would prefer to watch like serialized content. So I'm expecting start date will probably be like June 7th or something. Probably.
Okay.
I don't know. Gotta email the lead on Monday because they were supposed to send me like an email where that I was supposed to like say okay back to for a schedule. Never got it. So which is
wow.
That fun story. That's also how they like. So it's like a call center job, but we operate on both sides of the border.
Mm-hmm.
So there were numbers calling me from Florida, and I don't really answer just like random numbers that have like no. I have caller ID, so like I don't really answer just random numbers that come up like that, right? So it's like a 717 number. I'm like, I'm not answering that, and I'm getting like 4 or 5 of them a day. So I finally was like, fuck it, just answered one. Like, hey, are you still interested in this job? I was like, yeah, but I never got an email. Like I was supposed to get an email telling me how to complete the background check and stuff. If I got the interview, like, oh, are you still interested? Yeah. Okay, we'll send that over, and then they did.
Wow. What is this company? It just feels so bootleg.
So the actual operations company is called Cytel.
Mm-hmm.
But the company I would be operating for is PSU. Delvin, turn your camera off. You're lagging again.
He's fine. He's gonna lag. It is what it is.
Screw it.
It's like I'd be helping customers, with problems for financial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, like small credit union stuff and stuff like that. So, obviously, background checks are understandable and stuff. So that's nice. And then, I know I kind of just jumped into how's your week been? But I didn't actually really get to play much this week. Been playing a little bit more of The Last of Us Part 2 at 60 FPS on my permadeath playthrough. Shout out to that cutscene on day 2 when you're with Tommy and Joel in like the flashback scene. Where like the bloater throws you through a wall, by the way. Because, did that whole fight, thought the bloater killed me. No, Joel just straight up hacked it with a hatchet, and I forgot about that. And I was like, great, I get to do the whole chapter over again. Because the thing literally went to tear Ellie's face apart, and then Joel hacks it with a machete. And I was like, oh, right, okay. Well, glad I don't lose an hour of progress. So, and then checked out the Saints Row 3 remastered PS5 port. Pretty great. Trophy pop issues though. That's great. The way the save transfer works is you have to have the PS4 version installed and the PS5 version installed, and it'll just do it automatically on its own. No trophies popped. So if I want them, I gotta restart the whole game over.
Wow.
I mean, I might at some point because there's choices you need to make in Saints Row 3 that like determine outcomes for each chapter, and you can only make them. And I forgot to make a save before that, so I would have to go back and get one anyways. Haven't had a chance to play Mass Effect this week because I just didn't have that much time. Dealing with all the ODSP nonsense this week. That was fun. The building's gonna let me pay rent in installments. That's fun. So I'm not usually the one that pays rent. My mom does, but
right.
That was fun. She got $2.50 for the month.
Oh man.
So
wow.
Yeah.
That's no fun there.
On top of all the regular bills, they were like, "Hey, can you come up with an extra $933 for rent?" No.
Right.
And,
where am I supposed to get that?
yeah. So, now that I have a job, it's at least a little bit of help, but I won't get my first paycheck from that job until
Till you start, and usually like 3 weeks after that.
Yeah, so like end of June, probably.
Yeah.
On the plus side, it's full time though.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
That is good. That's real good.
$16 an hour too.
All right.
So, yeah, that's been my week.
Ups and downs, ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Games and life and games. What about you, Delvin? How's your week been other than your crappy computer?
Everything's been good. Just busy as heck.
Mm-hmm.
I have played. I want to say I'm probably halfway through Resident Evil 8, or probably a little bit more than halfway through. I don't want to give too spoilery, but I have the third flask. Getting ready to get the fourth one.
Okay.
I completely forgot Resident Evil 8 was even a thing.
So that's probably halfway through, Ellie?
No. You've only got about 2 or 3 hours left.
Okay, so that's more than halfway through.
The game, once you get the fourth flask, you've only got about like 2 or 3 hours left. So.
Okay, so and that's with me playing as sporadically as I've been playing. So I've been playing that a little bit, and I've also played Biomutant, and I like it. It's exactly what I expected it to be, and it's crazy to say that it feels like a old school THQ game. And if you know about THQ games from back in the day, Donnie said this on the Empire. He said the same thing I said in terms of like they were THQ was AAA, but there really wasn't AAA. Like when you played a THQ game, you knew what you were getting. You were getting a solid 7 out of 10. If you was okay with that 7 out of 10, you were gonna have a blast. But it is what it is. That's what I kind of like about THQ Nordic is that they're making these games, these kind of AA games that we kind of missed from, I guess, that was the PS4 era when all the AA studios went away and stuff like that. no THQ and stuff like that. So, and I used to love those games because back in the day, now it's kind of the case, but it's really not the case where they used to have these long spurts where there was literally nothing to play.
Yeah.
So if you go maybe 6 months with nothing to play, what can tide you over a great THQ game that maybe is a 7 in quality, but based off the fact that you have nothing to play, it becomes an 8.
Yeah.
And I think Biomutant is, while it has its flaws, it's pretty cool to see a game like this made by such a small team. Because it's an open world game. It's, like I said, it feels like a THQ open world game. It has its bugs and stuff like that. But it feels cool that a team of 20 made that game. And it looks good. It feels THQ good. And I like it a lot. Like, I like the concept of, hey, all the characters in the game are animals. Like anthropomorphic animals walking around and you're fighting with these characters and stuff like that. It's a pretty cool game. The concept pretty cool. I don't like the narrator. The narrator in the game is annoying to me. I kind of wish that the characters had their own voices and talked and had conversations like that. But
Yeah.
it's fine. I like it.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I'm like, why'd they have to make them all talking gibberish? Like, I understand that having all that dialogue, having to actually record it and pay voice actors or something to record it can be a lot. But if you're going to make them speak gibberish, then you might as well just go ahead and have somebody record the lines. There's got to be somebody in the studio that can do a good enough job just to record the stuff. So you're not having to have them speak the gibberish, then have the narrator translate it. It's just like, that's a lot. And yeah, it can be very annoying after a while. I'm glad you can turn the narrator down because he talks a lot. Like everything you do, he basically has a comment or something. It's just like, okay, I get it. But I guess there's a patch coming out soon where they're talking about that they address that, so maybe they'll let you turn it off. Like commenting on everything, and maybe he just does the translating. There's also supposed to be a lot of fixes in this upcoming patch that they're having, so that's cool.
Yeah. Another thing I want to give it props on is the fact that the classes are freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like they have like a saboteur, they have like a biotic class. And they all look really cool. I had like a hard time picking out what class to use, actually.
Yeah. What'd you go with?
I think the saboteur. The one who carries like two knives.
So did I.
It looks pretty cool.
I'm not playing Biomutant, but I heard Andy Cortez from Kind of Funny talk about how he didn't really like the gunslinger class because like there's no lock-on.
Yeah, there isn't a lock on. I mean, you can aim down sights and stuff, but there's no real lock on. But I'm like, it's kung fu, so I'm gonna pick the kung fu-iest looking thing in here, and then just kind of mix and match that with the gun. So that's why I went saboteur. Yeah. It felt like the right combination, and I like the fact, like you said, like the classes are so like broad, so you can actually kind of spec into it. So like I went high agility. Like why not? If I'm jumping around doing kung fu, let's be super agile. So.
Yeah, cool. I like it a lot. It's really cool, a really cool game, man. I like the fact that knowing that it's only 20 people that made the game and there's so much stuff in the game and so much variety. I think that's dope. That's awesome. I want more games like this, especially in down periods of time. I think the only fault of this game is that it came out so late in terms of like May. Everything's coming out in May, so it's kind of like going to get like lost in that kind of field of the Mass Effects, the Returnals, and everything else that came around this time. But if this would have came out like around February, people have been going crazy about this game.
Maybe,
it's great.
Because then its only competition really would have been Hitman 3. Oh, before Dev goes and talks about his week, I forgot one more thing. Hi, I got my first vaccine shot. Woo!
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Currently, my next appointment's September 15th.
God, why so far away?
Here's the fun fact. In about 2 weeks' time, I can book it for August.
Still, that's far away. It's supposed to be like 2 weeks.
Hi. Welcome to the government of Ontario, run by the brother of the former crackhead smoking mayor of Toronto.
You smoke crack, don't you?
So
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
fun
Well, that's wild.
times.
That's nuts. I got nothing. I got nothing for that.
Yeah. I feel like
Any-
Canada, the reason why the shot is only 97.5% effective. Like, yeah, you gotta wait 6 months before you take the second shot. That's why.
I mean, I got Pfizer. What'd y'all get?
Pfizer.
I think I got Moderna. Anything else going on with you this weekend, Delph?
Nah, that's about it.
For sure. Yeah, for me, it's been busy. Just got back from like the vacation I took or whatnot, and just trying to get back into the swing of stuff. So we've been busy. It was my daughter's last week of school, so I had to do a lot of stuff for that. Go to the school, turn in all her final paperwork, get her stuff done for that. My son also has like his last week is I believe it's next week, so we get like his last packet, and he's he's pretty much done. So we're trying to find out summer programs for them or whatnot. Plus, my daughter's been sick all week, so that's been a pain. Trying to having to keep her in the house, and then also keep my son in the house because if he gets sick, we don't want to get the other kids in the neighborhood sick. So they've just been in the house nonstop, losing their minds. So that has been a pain. Other than that, I haven't gamed too much just because I've been exhausted. I did play Biomutant, got lucky and got it for $3 whole. I couldn't believe it actually worked. Wario tweeted out something like super late, like I think
Yeah, I
maybe
saw that.
a day or two before the game went live, and it was on sale for $3 on the EA desktop launcher, and I was able to get it, and it actually worked. So I got Biomutant for $3. It's cool. Like we hold games to such a high standard sometimes, and they just tear them down. It's like you just gotta. If you is the experience enjoyable, like it's not gonna be this crazy game. And I think a lot of the problems is just the hype that comes behind the games. We put our own expectations on it as an industry or whatnot, ends up blowing the game up into something that maybe it's not supposed to be. But the game for what it is pretty fun. It's cool. It looks really good. Like color wise, it's pretty gorgeous. It's just a fun little beat 'em up open world type game. Like in the fact that you're able to do so much with the character, like creation is pretty fun. Combat, yeah, it feels a little loose, but again, 20-person studio. The fact that they were able to create this in COVID times and everything. 'Cause the game was supposed to come out like last year because it was originally just a PS4, Xbox One gen title. It was never meant to be PS5 or Xbox Series. It was made for last gen. It was supposed to come out last year, but COVID and everything got delayed. So when you think about it in those terms, like it's pretty cool. And like Delvin said, like we miss having like this double A type of fill in the gaps type of games or whatnot. So it's great that they were able to actually get this done and have it come out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So I enjoyed my time with that. I did not jump back into any more Mass Effect just because I just haven't had the time. Played a little bit of Destiny because I'm trying to get the crew back together so we can do a raid. Vault of Glass just dropped, so that's like real nostalgic for me and my crew. Just from the D1 era, just Vault of Glass is just a great raid. So we were trying to get our light levels up to be able to actually do that because it does require a pretty high light level, and none of us have been playing really at all. So trying to get there has been a journey in itself.
Shout out to Bungie saying that you can't push Atheon off the cliff.
Yeah, I love that they're like, well, you can, you just don't, you can't. If so, they have like their world's first race and like contest. But it's like if you do that, it won't count. I just can't believe they didn't. I mean, they fixed it in D1. Like they added bumpers to where you couldn't knock them off. I'm like, how did y'all redo Vault of Glass and then not add the protection to not be able to knock him and the Templar off? Like, really?
Yeah.
Come on,
and
Bungie.
then the news story after the world first, that shit was ridiculous.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
the team that had the guy with the offensive name that got banned.
Oh, yeah, well, you know what? That's gamers. I'm not surprised. That World was it Call of Duty had 350,000 players banned due to offensive names the other day.
Yeah.
350,000.
Yeah.
That is so many people.
But also, like, I like how only the one
It's a
guy on
small
the
country.
team was banned
Yeah.
when, like, literally, like, everybody on that team should have been banned because clearly they were okay with the offensive name. Like, when
The
doing
thing
a
is,
raid,
like, you can't. I disagree with that. I don't think you can ban the whole team because they can't force the guy to change his name. You know, it's like we're just a raid team. It's anonymous strangers on the internet. Sometimes it's not necessarily being okay. It's just like, well, I don't like your name, but if you're already part of a raid team, a lot of time these raid teams operate in such a strange way where like you're just trying to get people into a raid group or whatnot to be able to do it. So I don't think you ban the whole team. I think they did the right thing by banning the guy, but letting them keep their world to keep the rest of the guys keep their world first status. You know, they did it. They got it done. I gamer tags, man.
yeah, I
This
won't
country
repeat.
is so.
I won't
This
repeat
world is
what
so
it
full
was,
of hate.
but it
It's
was
so
ridiculous.
ridiculous. So much hate in the world right now. It's really depressing. Really, really depressing. But other than that, I don't think I've played anything else. I got my new monitor in, so I've been doing a lot of fiddling with settings and PC stuff, and haven't played a whole lot of games. That's really it. So I was testing out Outriders and other games that actually do like decent HDR. Destiny's HDR sucks, so
Oh,
everything is way too dark,
Yeah.
and the reds are way too saturated.
I'm
So that
honestly
one doesn't look
surprised
good.
Destiny hasn't fixed that yet. They said they were working on a fix for it, and it's just
Yeah,
broken.
and it's very different between PC and console. Like it's all over the place. So yeah, their HDR is whack, but the 120 hertz mode is really nice for the Crucible. So I did play some Crucible with the new monitor in 120, and it feels really smooth. Even the 60 frames, it feels a lot smoother on this monitor than it did on my previous one.
If you
So just been fooling around with that.
if you want another game that does HDR badly, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'd have to buy that. I don't have Red Dead Redemption 2,
No, I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying, like, it does HDR badly. Like, it's not even real HDR. It's like a fake
I remember.
overlay that's placed on it. It's bad.
Yeah. HDR is a interesting thing because there's so many different versions of it and how it's done.
Yeah.
When it's done well, it's really good. But when it's not, it's just like oof.
One of the best examples of HDR I've seen is Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, Forza, they did a really good job with that one. But yeah, just kind of tooling around, just trying to see what things are like at 120 hertz or 144. Like Biomutant, I'm able to get to 144 after dropping it to like 1440p. Horizon, I tried. Horizon is such a resource hog. I couldn't get that one. Yeah, I couldn't get that one. And plus, my GPU is just really old, so I couldn't get that one to do anything above 60. But it's nice to be able to get it at 60. But yeah, that's been pretty much it with my week. Just been dealing with a lot of life stuff, trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do with these kids for the summer, because otherwise they're going to drive me absolutely insane. And then just kind of fooling around with PC stuff. We actually recorded a game take yesterday, so that was cool too.
Because Donnie went on vacation. I actually got to watch
Vacation Don.
I didn't get to watch Game Tech Live, but I did get to watch Empire Live this week night, which was nice. So really enjoyed that. And then, you know, I know he mentioned he was going on vacation. You guys were going to record a Game Tech before he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I loved the conversation that was going on in Game Tech last night, where he like totally like took down his ultra wide monitor and just set up his dual.
I'm so disappointed in him for that. Just to stream Mario Golf.
Yeah.
Which he'll probably stream twice.
Yeah. And also, he's only probably going to stream it because he asked Jeff Grubb to play with him, and Grubb was like, yeah, let's do it. So
I'm like, you just set up another monitor. Like, oh, God. I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone because I just want to. You got a really nice. You're going from 144 2K. You're going from 1440p at 144 frames to a 1080p 60 monitor to stream Mario Golf. Damn you, Donnie. Just you. Oh, oh God. Anyways, yeah, you know what? Let it, Donnie. Hey. You do you. Enjoy.
Yeah,
enjoy your golf. Do your thing. You're gonna sell that monitor, and then you're gonna be trying to figure out what you want to replace it with in 2 weeks. I'm just saying. Work-wise, that monitor is great. Keep it.
I'm loving the conversation that he had. I know we'll talk about it later about after the Horizon review. Like, it's worth keeping on to the PS5 for. I'm like, I knew that was gonna happen.
Well, he wasn't gonna get rid of it. He you know how it is with him. Like when stuff sits, he's just like, I could get something for it. It's just sitting there, and I get it. Makes sense. Like if you're not using it, turn it into something you want to use. Makes perfectly good sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my week. Let's get into these questions because we do have a few.
Yeah.
Our first question comes from @TC1H1D over on Twitter. He says, will Sony make an official announcement of PSVR 2 before E3 to try and steal some of the Microsoft Bethesda thunder?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think, Delvin?
I honestly think they don't care. I don't think they care anything about what Bethesda and Microsoft does until it starts affecting them, their bottom line. I feel like with the PSVR 2, they're going to, what they showed us early was the official announcement, and when they have it ready to like go to stores, then you'll get the whole, you make it like a state of play of like, hey, here's some games that's going to be coming to it, but then, and it'll show like the PSVR actual like unit and stuff like that, which they already showed, but we're not going to see PSVR for a while. Probably like the end of this year, maybe.
Yeah, they said it was a while a ways off, so I couldn't imagine them. Like they've already made their official announcement of it. I can't imagine them having anything at like around E3 time, just because it's still so far off. I feel like they've already shown us. They've shown us the controllers or what they're thinking. They've shown us the ideas of what it is. There's really not a whole lot else to say about it until it's close to being ready, so you can actually like start saying, "Hey, these are the games that are coming or whatnot." Because VR is another one of those things where it's like you can't really show it. It's one of those things that kind of has to be experienced to really truly understand what PSVR or VR in general is. It's hard to just show a trailer and be like, "This is VR." You really have to experience it, and they've already given us an idea of what the specs are. So I don't feel like a few months later at like around E3 time there'd be anything new to say.
Yeah,
they could possibly do anything for trying to kill a Microsoft Bethesda type stuff. But like you said, I don't think they care. Like until it really starts affecting the bottom line, I don't think it matters.
I also again I guarantee we're probably getting a state of play in July or August at some point.
Yeah.
As part of Summer Game Fest. Because remember, if you haven't seen like the big list of partners Keighley has for Summer Game Fest, PlayStation's on the list of partners. So like definitely announcements through Summer Game Fest. We'll again talk about this later, but I also think that's partially why Horizon didn't get dated at the end of the state of play today. I think that'll be not today, but like the other day. I think that'll be saved for like their big showcase later this summer. Because they said we'll hear from them soon and it's on track, and they've been saying it's on track all year, so I still expect it to launch this year. But VR wise, no. If we get another announcement about PSVR 2 this year, I don't expect it until like November or December, because they've said it's not happening this year, so why show it? And again, to echo Delvin, like as much as it might pain people, but like play again, it's the crossplay thing that we all had a huge argument about in the Discord earlier this week. Like Sony doesn't care until it affects their bottom line.
Yep, 100%.
I will throw out this little carrot. I can't see a possibility of them like showing us some VR games that will look better on PSVR 2.
Sure,
correct.
But
like,
again,
hey,
that would be in like a July or August state of play,
Yes.
not just like a
Yes.
blog post or whatnot. Yeah.
Like, hey, here's Iron Man VR 2. It's backwards compatible to the original PSVR, but it's gonna look a heck of a lot better on PSVR 2. I can see something like that happening.
Yeah. Our next question comes from Hopper at 2400. He says PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2 is announced. Who are some of your most wanted newcomers?
I'll let you two finish this question first because y'all know my opinion. I don't want one. Just gone.
I get it, but if it happens, who do you want? Since you said we'll go first, I'll go ahead and go. I want Aloy. I want Jin. I want Delson. Trying to think who else. I want what's his Astrobot, because why not? Those would probably be the only characters that I'd actually want to see, because that'd probably be the only characters that I would actually play with.
Well, you don't want no Deacon
What about you,
St.
Delvin?
John?
No. No.
Deacon St. John, I think, is a good choice. A choice that everybody's sleeping on. Sam Porter Bridges. He definitely has to be a PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale 2. Sam Porter Bridges.
Baby and all.
PlayStation's version of Spider-Man would be dope.
Oh, man, that would actually
Think
probably put some butts in some seats.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's our Spider-Man. I think since it's
Right.
the PlayStation version of Spider-Man, I think they can get away with it. You know, there's a couple other ones they can add in. Modern Kratos, of course, which is Kratos and Boy working together.
Boy.
I think that'd be cool.
If you're throwing Spider-Man, you got to throw in an
guys-
alt for him with Miles Morales, too.
Oh, definitely. Without a question, you have to have that. I think PlayStation, out of all times, it seems like a PlayStation fighting game will probably work best now as opposed to when they released them in the PS3 era. That sounds a little crazy, but yeah. Like, in terms of, like, you got more characters that people, like, love. Including, like, if you go just to The Last of Us 2. Like, you just add some of those characters in there. I feel like you could come up with a pretty decent to solid lineup.
You could. You definitely could have a good roster.
I mean, I'm sure you could. I don't want it. And honestly, I don't think PlayStation does either. If I had to, I know that's the gist of the question, Deacon St. John. Adult Ellie, because I don't remember if Joel was in the first game. Was he?
No.
So, Joel, Ellie, as much as I dislike Abby, you would probably add Abby or one of the characters from the second half of the game as well. And then I don't know, like if you do Spider-Man, I wouldn't do an alt as Miles. I'd just have Miles be his own character because their power sets are different. So it would make sense to be a different character instead of a skin. It'd be like you'd still keep Cole but add Delson because their power sets are different, right? Like not be an alt. Like
Oh no, you would get rid of Cole. Cole gotta go.
Fuck you. Don't you do this to me literally a week before the 10th anniversary of Infamous 2. Fuck you.
You know who we forgot who makes perfect sense? Bugsnax.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, that would be dope, because then you could just change your powers based on whatever bug you try to pull out or whatnot. You could do a lot with that.
Like the Kirby moveset? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, no, like Kratos is already in there, but you'd probably just change his look to like the newer games. I don't know. There's lots of things you could add, but I don't want a fighting game for PlayStation again. Like they're doing pretty well without one. They've got a bunch of like partnerships for fighting games already, and I really don't think they
It could be fun. It could be great.
I don't know if I necessarily want it, but I don't mind it. I wouldn't mind it at all.
Yeah, I would be totally okay with it. And yeah, like like what H1D says, it would make sense with their acquisition of Evo. It absolutely would. It would not be a bad move. There's enough people who actually want to see something like this that it actually wouldn't be really good.
So
I'd
I
be
have,
cool.
I have a
People ask for
question. That thing you just pinned is from Twitch, right?
No. Well, he's on Twitch. He's watching
Yeah,
on Twitch. Yeah.
the comment is from Twitch. So fun fact, I can see the YouTube comments and you responding to people on YouTube, but in the stream chat thing on the side, Twitch doesn't show up.
I don't know why. I see it. I don't know why you guys don't. I have no idea. You're funny, Daniel.
What up, Daniel?
Next question from at that retro code. He said, "What would happen? What would happen if some small Sony titles were shown at E3? What would happen if some small Sony titles were shown at E3 for Nintendo, like a Helldivers or a Warhawk crossover with Star Fox in a 2D shmup game?"
I would
That's
love
an
it.
interesting one. Yeah. It's funny because all I think about is like how burned that bridge is with
Very
Sony
much
and
so.
Nintendo. So it would be bonkers to see any kind of partnership crossover anything with the two of those companies. If we saw something like that, it would be like, oh my God, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like being able to see them cross over, like that would be crazy. Because then, of
What
course,
if
you got to imagine half their characters are going to end up in Smash.
I was going to say that exact same thing? What if instead of just making PlayStation All Star Battle Royals 2, they're like, hey, you can take these set amount of characters, just put them in Smash.
Yep.
I mean, there's only 2 characters left to come to Smash anyways, unless they do another like DLC pack.
I mean,
They're gonna do another DLC pack. I can see that.
the thing is, you can just constantly just keep adding characters to Smash. Like, you really don't need to do another Smash. Just keep adding characters. They can do that.
Yeah.
Smash is great. But yeah, I think that would just be like, that would be something that would just blow people's minds just because of the relationship between the two from the original PlayStation and everything. Would just be nuts. Be absolutely
Yeah.
nuts.
Then you add to it that right now Sony's looked at like kind of the big bad guy who doesn't want to work with anybody. They're like, nah, we're working at Nintendo. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be insane. Absolutely insane. And I imagine anything that they did on Nintendo would sell really well.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy. Would love to see something like that, but I highly doubt that'll ever happen. But one can dream, one can dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, next question from Eating Salad. He says, usually around E3, PlayStation has their state of play. Do you think we'll get more info on God of War Ragnarok? And what would you like to see from that game? Let's start with you, Delvin.
I think we'll get another trailer. Not necessarily E3, probably in July, like a small teaser trailer. They'll say some shit like Ragnarok is coming or some shit like that, like they do. And you may see an axe come across the street like, boy. You may see like something like Thor, like a piece of lightning come down or some shit like that. But we're not going to see nothing else probably until... Because God of War is not coming this year. It's probably going to come next year. Probably fall of next year, probably, if I were to guess. So I wouldn't expect to see too much. But I think at least we'll probably see maybe E3 after E3, or maybe even fall, a little trailer or something like that, a small snippet or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like... Go ahead, Haley.
I was just going to say, I don't want to see anything of God of War until later this year because we know it's not coming. Like,
right.
I want them to post a trailer when they announce that it's not coming this year. Like, just post a trailer, say, look, we overestimated. It's not coming in 2021. It's coming next year. Here's a first look. That's all I want. I don't want to see it at their July event because we know it's not coming this year. Horizon is still, as they've said numerous times, on track to launch this year. The only reason I, again, think we didn't see a release date in the trailer is the Miles Morales thing from last year. They want to make sure they can absolutely hit that date. They've said they're on track for it, and dev's always asking for this. Why put a date if you're not sure you can hit it?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, optimistically, I mean, that's just me though, but also, again, like, they've shown no indication that they're wrong. I absolutely think Horizon is launching this year. We know God of War isn't, because literally all we've seen of it is Ragnarok is coming and a logo. That's it. That's all we've seen.
Yep. Yeah, I think if we see anything at all this summer for God of War, it'll be about it being delayed. That's all I think we'll see. Is that, here's a quick first look. It's not coming this year. It'll be out sometime next year. And that's all I think we're going to see. As far as what I want from that game, quite honestly, just more of the same. Like, I don't really need them to do anything to that formula. I think it was fantastic. So, and the game right now runs on PS5 and, checkerboard 4K at 60. So I quite honestly, I don't need them to do anything more to the game other than give me more story. Yeah. That's all I really want to see. Is I'm fine with the say. I don't need new weapons. I don't need any of that. Like, let me just pick up where I left off at. Just give me more story. What's going on?
You know what I would like to see? Actually, teenage Loki.
Yeah,
you're gonna get that. I can honestly tell you that, like, right now, you're probably gonna get that. Like, yes, I know there's fan art mock-ups now of him with like a green line of face paint.
And spoilers for people who haven't finished it.
No, these are just fan arts.
No. I meant the name.
The spoilers about the name. I mean, it's 2017.
Well, I didn't say we didn't say who it is, by the way.
Hi. By the way, you literally just said who it was by saying teenage Loki.
I just said teenage. Well, you have to play it to know who Loki is.
No, you don't have to play it to know who Loki is. You don't have to play it to know who. No, you don't. It's literally on the cover.
Yes, you do.
No, dude, it's on the cover of the game.
It's not on the cover.
Yes, it is. Once you know, it's on the cover of the game.
Once you play through it and you know who it is, yes. No, I didn't say who it is.
And here we go spoiling things. Either way.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll do it right now. No, I'm kidding.
How far ahead would the game have to jump, though? Like, how
what I was going to say was
Loki can like shapeshift, so time doesn't have to pass at all. He can just age himself up.
He don't know that yet.
My whole thing was I want to see rebellious, that character being showing shades of who he is.
I don't want to see that character be
rebellious.
I already saw that, and it was so annoying.
It was literally like the most annoying part of God of War 1. Like, fuck that kid during that entire section.
No. I want to see that rebellious angst trickster that we know him to be.
Absolutely not.
Because if we get...
You want to see it based on the Marvel character. No.
Not off the Marvel character. No, not at all.
No. I don't want to see it at all.
I want to deal with that again.
We've already dealt with
when he was acting like that, I wanted to choke the life out of him.
I wanted to put the axe through his neck. Nuts. Like, he was literally like the worst character during that entire arc, where he's like a rebellious dickhead in the first game. Like,
but that's what kids are.
No,
that's kind of what kids are.
That is what kids are.
Sure, that's what kids are.
That's 100% what kids are. Especially when kids think they're right about something and they think they know everything. They're gonna tell you about how things are gonna be done and the way they should be done.
All right, sure, but we've already seen it. I don't want to see it again. Get rid of it. Like, stop. I don't want to see it again. I will literally put an axe through his skull.
I think it'll be an interesting dynamic to see.
I do not think it would be an interesting dynamic. I do not want to see
an older version of Loki having different type of conversations about who he is and how he's going through things. And hey, maybe we should instead of doing it this way.
He doesn't even know who he is yet. That's the thing. Like there's so much they can do with that.
Only Kratos knows.
And that's my point.
Who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's somebody else who knows. He's not happy about it.
I mean, yeah, of course somebody else knows who it is. But again, like, you didn't want to spoil it, and then you pretty much spoiled it. So, like...
I didn't say who it was! I didn't say who it was at all!
You don't have to. We've done spoiled it. We've done ran it into the ground. It is what it is.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to
We
see
ain't
that
seen
at
it
all.
for a year.
He's literally so annoying when that happens in the game. It's so annoying. I don't want to see it again. I will literally put the axe through his skull.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. We are now with PS5. If you have not played this game by now, you're probably not gonna play it.
Yeah,
play
probably.
There's people who are gonna be like, "Oh, Ragnarok is here. I'm gonna go ahead." Oh.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But there's people who haven't played it who will get a PS5 for the first time, and then it's like part of the collection or whatnot.
Yeah.
Or actually no, and they'll go ahead and play it leading up to Ragnarok.
Isn't it already in the collection?
That's what I'm saying.
It is.
Yeah.
They'll play it and then leading up to Ragnarok. So it is what it is. But I'm excited for just more of just that world. Actually, I don't really care about changing up a whole lot. Just more of that world. Teenage Loki is going to be interesting if they decide to go that route. How they lean into him finding out who he is and all that good stuff could be very interesting.
Yes.
So we'll see. Right. Our final question comes from Mr. Pastor Coach Ham. He says, so after the latest state of play, where we got some sweet Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West gameplay, but no date or a PS5 update to the original Horizon, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed or excited were you afterwards? Bonus rating, on a scale of 1 to 10, again, how whatever meh to really excited are you for announcements or trailers from PlayStation during the Jeff Keighley Summer Game Showcase or whatever it's called?
All right. To his first question, I wasn't disappointed at all. I'll say an 8. His bonus question, 5, because again, I don't expect we're getting anything from PlayStation until July at the earliest. So. Yeah.
Leave it at that because we're gonna talk about more of the Horizon stuff later on.
Yep.
What about you, Delvin? What is your scale?
5.
5.
So like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, this is cool, but I can wait. I'm at that point now where I can wait to see stuff about the game, and I don't need to see this right now. Like, give me a full thing later on down the line when the game's a little bit closer. Well, a lot more closer, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in like that 6, 7 for the first part, and then a 5 for the Summer Game Showcase. Because I don't know. I feel like Sony is gonna do their own thing. Yeah, they're our partners, so they may show some stuff with Jeff, the Summer Game Show, but I'm not really expecting too much, to be perfectly honest. So
also,
we'll see what happens.
To be honest, I'm more excited for Ratchet and Clank because it's so close.
Yeah, absolutely. Ratchet and Clank, and I'm also super excited for Final Fantasy Integrate. Real excited about that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was so close too.
That's literally the day before. It's the day before Ratchet.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that till the other day. Like, literally, I looked it up like, holy crap, that's right there.
Yep. Literally, like, what, 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, something like that right now?
12 days.
Yeah. Much excite. All right, well, that does it for our questions. Thank you all for sending in your questions. We really appreciate them. It's always fun to just answer your craziness and see what crazy questions y'all send us. So, good stuff. Thank you once again for your questions. Let's get into some news. What you got for us, Haley? What's your news story? What you want to talk about?
I got 2 stories.
Uh-oh.
First off, on the topic of release dates, we got both release dates for my stories. But the second one's not about a release date. We finally got the release date for Dying Light 2.
Only took him 17 years.
So it's a lot later than I expected. I was expecting September, but it's December 7th. Game looks pretty good. I also I've seen a couple people say how long till it gets delayed again. I'm like, I really don't think it's getting delayed again. I think they were radio silent for so long because they were like, yeah, let's make sure we can hit that date. So
right.
I honestly don't expect Dying Light 2's getting delayed again. So it's very exciting to know that. Also, the confirmation that there's going to be story DLC is great as well, because Dying Light 1 was supported out the ass with
Oh
DLC.
my god.
Like,
So much DLC for that game.
like they literally. Did you buy the Platinum Edition? I saw you were looking at it or not.
Nah, I didn't buy it.
Okay, but there's like 37 DLCs listed for the Platinum Edition, and you know, some of them are just skin packs, but then there's others like, you know, Dying Light, not Back for Blood, but like there's like a battle royale mode for it and stuff like that. And the Hell
Yeah, I have the
Rage.
enhanced edition, so I was like, I
So
don't
do
think
I.
I need to buy the platinum, but it's also not running in 60 frames. I'm like,
Oh, I'm not
can't
going
do it.
back to play the original, right? Like,
Yeah.
I did what I could of the original. Never could get that platinum because of that. Like, hey, do 3 missions with the same 4 co-op partners. So, but great game. Had a blast playing it. Very excited for the sequel. You know, December 7th. Really the only game in December. I wonder if that will change though.
Yeah. It's very rare to see December launches. Like, games
Yeah.
don't typically launch in December, so I was surprised when I saw that. Like, really? You guys are gonna do a December launch?
The last game I saw launch in December was just Cause 3.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Just Cause 4 did it as well.
Did Immortals launch in December?
Yes, it did. December 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then my second story is a Ubisoft related story. We got the release date for Far Cry 6 as well. That's October 7th. Literally 2 months apart from each other.
Looks good.
It
looks
does.
Real good.
It looks fantastic. My story about it is just about the like 2 of the companions that we know you can have. The sweet little dachshund named Chorizo, who can't actually kill enemies, but will distract them for you, so you can do stealth takedowns. And then the alligator, Guapo, who wears a t-shirt, has a gold tooth.
Guapo.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
You know, I'm very excited for Far Cry 6. Shout out to the PlayStation Store, by the way. I went to look at obviously I had to wait till I get paid and everything for my job and rent's all taken care of. But like, I went to go look at like what comes with like the pre-order editions, right? Shout out to the PlayStation Store for defaulting to the $160 edition. You know me so well. I like I said, I buy that stuff up front, so like I'm not worried about like having money for the. I'll bring that up in a second. So I buy those editions like when I pre-order the game, so that I don't have to worry about not having money for the DLC later. Because Far Cry's DLC is always good, except 5. 5 DLCs was.
I was gonna say always.
I mean, generally, like Far Cry 3 had Blood Dragon, which was fantastic. 4 had the Yeti DLC, which was pretty great. But then 5 did the whole like 3-stack movie thing, and that wasn't really good.
Yeah.
Except the zombie one was fun, but like too linear as opposed to like a normal Far Cry thing. And I absolutely hate spiders, so the Mars DLC was not good.
Yeah, me and spiders, we don't get along either.
Yeah.
I don't do spiders. Nah, Doc.
But then on the topic of the CD gun, I really hope you can change the music that's played off that gun, because I don't want to hear the Macarena 24/7.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah,
that was really funny. Just gonna shoot fools with CDs.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the same thing, but Far Cry New Dawn had like a similar weapon, but it was actually like buzzsaws. This is straight up just CDs. Which the only
CD-Rs. I haven't used one of those in years.
Literally the only other game I've seen use the similar gun besides like, you know, the buzzsaw gun from Far Cry New Dawn is Sunset Overdrive.
That seems like it would fit right up their alley with that, yeah.
Yeah.
I went from no hype to a lot of hype for this one. So
I also saw you were a little upset that they allow you to choose male or female.
Yeah, man, just lead into it. Like, Come on, Ubisoft. Like, stop playing this game.
No,
Just
you know
lean
exactly
into it.
why they do it. You know
I
exactly
know,
why
and
they
it
do it.
drives me nuts. Like, you clearly want to just make the female leads. Just do it. Every single game, they have basically led with the female character.
Yep.
But to appease everybody else, they're like, oh, you can choose the male. And I feel like just, if that's the story you want to tell, just lean into it and do it. Just do it.
They again, it's the sexism / homophobia double combo. They got to deal with those gamers. TM
It's me nuts,
for the audio
man.
listeners who are like, well, I don't want to play as a woman. I'm not buying your game, and I'm just like, good, fuck off. Like, just
Then my
just
game's
leave.
not for you.
Leave.
Game's not for you.
Leave. If you don't want to play as a girl, leave. There are 6,000 games where you can play as a male character. Fuck off. Like, but lawyers and shit like that is why Ubisoft will always lean into it. Like, they've straight up said every Assassin's Creed going forward will allow you to choose male or female. They've said every Far Cry going forward will allow you to do that. And it's because of these a-holes who are a significant, unfortunately, gaming audience, quote unquote, finger quotes, who just will straight up just go, I'm not buying your game then. And lawyers are like, well, we can't do that. So
I get it if it's like a silent protagonist that's a created character, sure. But if you're trying to tell a story, just lean into the character and let that be the character.
It's unfortunate. It's also the same reason why, like, again, Jeff Grubb said this, like, he tweeted it out and then Elaine repeated it on Empire. Like, we don't need to do the whole, this game isn't political. It's absolutely political, and we could just ignore that and talk about, like, the political undertones of this game. But
or not. Or not.
No. We can and we should. But
I don't think we should at all.
We're not going to do.
If the company says it's not political, just leave it at that.
No.
Just leave it at that.
Here's the thing. Stop asking them that fucking question, because lawyers will never let them answer it honestly.
Just leave it alone.
No, don't. Like, you, like, as a white person, and I'm saying this, like, literally, no. Like, let's talk about the political undertones of this game, because ignoring them does no one any good. So, no.
It's never going to be a conversation that's going to be good or even needs to be had. How about we actually talk about the actual political problems that are going on in the world? We don't need to talk about the game for that. Let the game be the game.
I mean, regardless, I agree.
I love how Delvin has not said a word.
I'm just listening.
I agree with Jeff Grubb on this statement, by the way. Like, if you would like to hear him talk about this statement, go listen to Empire or look at his Twitter feed where he posted it and I retweeted it. But, like, we're just going to skip that conversation and we'll talk about it when we talk about the game. But the thing is that, like, lawyers are always like that, though. Like, they're not going to let them answer that question honestly. They're not going to let them, like, essentially tell a portion of the audience to fuck off. So it's an unfortunate thing we just have to deal with. But they also said you can customize the way Danny looks at the start of the game. So obviously there's male or female Danny, but I don't know what they mean by customize. I'm assuming just hair and clothing.
In Far Cry 5, you could do all that. You could customize your hair and all that stuff and your clothes. And I'm pretty sure they mean, like, clothes and stuff like that. So,
like the Far Cry 5 and New Dawn protagonists were silent. So,
yeah. Yep.
So, I don't know. Exciting stuff. Any thoughts, Delvin, before we move on, since you were just listening?
No, I just think that whole thing is a kind of a slippery slope in terms of, like, when you add politics and religion and things in video games and just in terms of pop culture in general, because you can have a conversation about it, but sometimes the question is, are you willing to have that conversation? A lot of people aren't willing to have that conversation. Like, the perfect example is, and this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but the conversation I've heard about Black Panther, the original movie, how some people legit loved it, and when I say some people, Black people are people who loved it for what it was, a movie celebrating Black culture, and champion black culture, and other people kind of saw it as, oh, this is just woke mess that people are just trying to put this nonsense on us. And it's like, in my viewpoint, I'm like, how do you see that in this movie?
I fucking hate the
because
word
of the
woke,
word
by the way.
colonizer. Because of the word colonizer.
I literally hate the word woke, by the way, because it's literally just been turned into like a buzzword for the alt-right. Like, just stop.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So it's kind of like, when I'm watching Black Panther, I want to enjoy the movie. I don't want to hear people's political commentary about how, oh, they just put this in here to make women look powerful and make black people look like this and that. No, let me enjoy my movie for what it is. I don't need people to critique
we don't
something I love.
About when it's a white person doing this. We don't like.
Yeah. I don't sit there and go watch American History X and look at this white supremacist movie and how they're trying to uplift the white. No, it's a movie. Sometimes, so it's kind of hard to distinguish the two because, like I say, some people take it too far. Like, for example, I enjoy Black Panther for what it is. Black Panther to me is an excellent movie that uplifts black culture, and it's a movie made by black people, for black culture. And if you enjoy it as a white person, that is amazing and awesome. Much respect to you.
Yeah, Black Panther.
And if you don't get it, you just don't get it.
Saw it, by the way. I finally got a chance to watch it.
But if you don't get it, you just don't get it. And there's some things, this is also related to the game, and there's certain things I just don't get. And if I don't get it, I say, you know what? I just don't get it. That's cool. It's nothing wrong with not being able to not getting it.
I was going to shut. Oh, sorry, Delvin. Continue.
No, I was. What the problem is when people try to force you to get it, or to force you tell you that you getting it and you loving it is wrong. Like, for example, having more women main characters in video games is awesome. What's not awesome is dude bros trying to tell you why are we having all these Mary Sue characters in video games? Why does that? If you don't get it, it's not for you, fam. You don't need to play the game.
It's like, I was gonna shout this out at the end of the podcast because it made me really happy to see this week. But like, as a huge fan of Easy Allies, it was great to see Isla Hink come out this week. And literally, I was like going through like quote tweets and just blocking people because literally one of the first quote tweets I saw of her coming out letter was just straight up cringe. I'm like, why are you following her then? Like, if you don't like her or their content or them being happy and finally like being themselves, why are you doing that? Like, just fuck off. Like, let her be happy. It's great to see her shine and finally be happy. By the way, anyone who wants to go see her content, her coming out spectacular Easy Update, it's on the Easy Allies YouTube channel. It's fantastic. The editing is fantastic, and there's a really jokey bit at the end that I love. I also love that she literally couldn't tell the rest of the Easy Allies her name through quarantine because she was worried that Huber would just shout it out in excitement. but like, if you're not going to be happy for them or just like contribute, like letting them be themselves, just fuck off. Like, you don't need to quote tweet their coming out letter and say cringe.
Yeah, like, it's just not for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You don't have to comment on everything that you see. You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's negative. Like, and I found
the joy of being on the internet.
I found myself this week saying that even more so because the whole conversation that comes up every couple months about The Last Jedi came up. We're like, we're one half of the audience is like saying, "Oh, this is amazing. Rian Johnson is the most amazing person ever," and the other half is like, "Screw this movie." And I started to get myself into it. I said, "You know what? Nope, not doing it this time. I'm muting this whole conversation and thread because this is not nothing I need to care about or worry about. My thoughts on the movie is my thoughts on the movie. I'm done with it. Take it out my mind. You know, if you enjoyed The Last Jedi, you enjoyed it. Good for you. If you didn't, you didn't. I ain't got to speak on it no more. That's how I look at it now."
What did Mo say, by the way? Because again, I can't see Twitch chat, so all I saw was "shut up, Mo."
He just said I was short. I look shorter. But my thing with that is like, I don't even bother looking at comments anymore. Internet is full of hateful people. I just don't even bother. Like, it's just gonna drag me down and make me more depressed about what already is going on. Like, I just don't even bother. I'm here for the people that I'm here for. I'm not even gonna deal with the comments of the assholes on the internet. It's just like, what's the point? I'm not gonna give them any shine. I'm not gonna give them what they're looking for, which is basically half the time just attention. Look at me. Look at this thing I said. This hot take. So I don't even bother with it. Support the things that I want to support. See the things that I want to see. Uplift what I want to uplift, and just screw the haters. I'm not even gonna give you any time. So,
I mean, again, like this is the whole thing too. Like all this like trans women in sports things. There's that shit needs to stop too. Because like literally like no, I'm so tired of the debate. It's not threatening at all. Like to even like the Olympics allow trans women to compete, and literally the standards for that are generally what most trans women are doing anyways. So like, and also I might add that rule's been in place since 2004. Literally no trans women have made it to the Olympic level. So, you know, like we're not dominating women's sports. Like we just want to play sports. Like just fuck off.
Don't even get me started on that conversation because that is a ridiculous conversation within itself. Like,
yeah,
people complain about that in women's sports, and these same people don't watch women's sports.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the WNBA numbers, nobody's watching it. Like, it's a very small audience. So if you care so much about women's sports,
I love the WNBA.
Yeah, but it's so small. But it's like, if you love these women's sports so much and are so passionate about it, why aren't you supporting it?
You know why?
Exactly.
You know why?
Yeah,
haters. Man, the WNBA is awesome. There's like
very good.
Man, WNBA is so good. Just like the passion you see like around the players and how much is really about playing the game and how uplifting all the women are for each other. Like it's so good.
Yes.
I love the WNBA.
I love the
and all of them will watch me in basketball. Completely.
I love the WNHL thing too, where like the Canadian and American women's teams captains and whatnot keep getting married to each other. Just
that's awesome.
That's dope.
Like it's happened 3 times now. It's great.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know if this is American sports, but like the women's international soccer or whatnot. I love that clip I keep seeing of the one girl about to drink her water, but she has the spout turned away from her face, so her teammate just turns the bottle around. like it's so great. Like these people are just like I love how we got derailed here, but like it was a very like important topic. But like they're making all this fuss about trans women and trans people in general in sports, because then there's people like Mac Briggs in Texas who was forced to wrestle, like that was a trans man, forced to wrestle against the girls, and like, we'll see trans people dominate in sports. I'm like, well, no, you forced a trans man to wrestle girls. Like, do you see the problem there? Like, but Texas don't care. So. Then
ridiculous.
Yeah, like you're making all this fuss about trans people in sports when you actually don't care and you're just being a hateful asshole. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and that's how most of this stuff goes. Honestly,
yeah,
most of this stuff when it comes to certain things like TV shows, movies, video games, bringing back the video game for that matter, they don't care that the protagonist is women. They're just being an asshole. They don't care about they're being woke. No, they're just being assholes. Simple as that.
Right. You don't see anybody complaining about Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Petition to ban the word woke from the internet, please. Like, petition to ban the word woke. Like, let's just throw it in the garbage, please.
Yeah, it's become a term that people use to kind of. It used to be a term of like, okay, this person's endearing and enlightening to a culture, and he's trying to find out about more things. Now it's just a term where the right used to kind of just politicize things, and like every time something happens, whether it's negative, even if it's not quote unquote woke, they say, oh, that's just the woke media trying to switch things. Not everything's that.
Yeah, it's also it's like I'm so tired of seeing like Ted Cruz and whatnot complain about the woke left mob, and I'm just like,
I'm just so tired of Ted Cruz. You can stop right there. I'm just out of
Yeah, let's just stop right there. We have become the Delvin Cox Experience. Let's get back to the PlayStation Experience.
Let's throw the whole man away. Just throw Ted Cruz away. Also, I just thought of like the fact that the three of us on an episode of the Delvin Cox Experience would be quite interesting.
I mean, we just got a glimpse of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that going to be the title of this week's episode?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to games. Delvin, what you got for us? What's your story, bro?
I think this is an interesting topic that I didn't know was happening, but apparently Jim Ryan kind of announced that they are working on some more mobile games, and some coming out as current as March 2022.
I do remember them saying that they were doing stuff for mobile. I didn't know they were coming that soon, though.
Yeah, I saw the report, but I didn't really want to. Like, obviously, we'll talk about it here, but I didn't really want to post in the Discord or anything until we have more concrete information. So,
well, let me read what it says. Speaking in a Q&A session as part of Sony's Investor Relations Day on Thursday, SIE President and CEO said the company intends to bring some of its iconic IP to mobile during its current business year ending in March 2022, following its very successful first steps in the PC market. We are beginning our journey to take PlayStation's first-party IP off console, Ryan said. We started last year by publishing 2 of our games on PC, Horizon Zero Dawn and Predator, and both were profitable. And we had a really successful publishing debut. We will continue that in FY21 and continue that from that and beyond.
Delvin, you could have just said fiscal year. That's what FY stands for.
Yeah, I just said FY. I did a Ron Burgundy. Just looking exactly.
Just read what's on the teleprompter.
Well, that escalated quickly.
But I think it's fascinating that they're still kind of focusing on mobile a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means by iconic IP.
I mean, like, you see it in the picture, like Gran Turismo, God of War, like they're iconic games, the stuff that's been around since the beginning of PlayStation. You think about the fact that mobile is just so big, the mobile growth, and the fact that you're able to do so much more on mobile as far as actually like playing some pretty good games. If you can turn, a profit on some mobile stuff, why not? Nintendo does it, and why not? Sony has enough, cachet to just be like, all right, yeah, let's create a mobile version of, this franchise or whatnot. And that way you can just start getting more money.
You know what I thought of when I saw this immediately? Little Big Planet.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
A Little Big Planet Animal Crossing type game where you can just buy these little costumes for the Little Big Planet characters or something like that. And you can buy 500 points for this amount of money. It seems like certain games fit that marketplace in terms of mobile perfectly. Little Big Planet, I'd say probably Bug Snack, stuff like that. I don't know how far they would be going into it. Like, will we see a God of War mobile? Or will we see an Uncharted mobile game? Another one?
Uncharted, I could see something.
Well, how far would they go down the rabbit hole? Will we see a Spider-Man mobile game? I think it's cool that they're doing it. I don't know how is it going to work or not. I think they need to learn from the success and mistakes that Nintendo made with it. And kind of go from there, because I feel like, and this is not necessarily Nintendo, what is it? Pokemon, what is it? What's it called?
Pokemon Go?
Snap?
Yeah, Pokemon Go. That was Go. That was a mobile game, right?
Yes.
Pokemon Go was a huge smash hit.
Yeah.
And Nintendo tried to do...
Hit. Like, that's still.
Yeah.
There's literally a Pokestop down the street from my house. It's literally at City Hall. And there's still people hanging out there every night.
Yeah, and for every Pokemon Go that's still going on today, I feel like we got a Mario Run, where Mario Run was hot when it came out. I don't hear anybody talk about Mario Run now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it.
So it's kind of like you got to know how to play your hand when it comes to the mobile market because some things can hit like and be around forever, and some things will kind of be a flash in the pan. And I think it's cool that they're showing interest in this. I hope if they're gonna do it, go all the way with it. Don't PS Vita it and do it for a short period of time. Now we're done with this.
Right. I feel like Mo said, or not Mo, but like Daniel said in the chat, he said God of War Mobile would play great. Like if you did God of War 3, just like a beat 'em up type stuff, that type of stuff would be good on mobile. You bring stuff like Golden Abyss to mobile would be great.
Cool.
Just a lot of the stuff they did with the Vita that you could, put on mobile. Gran Turismo, I mean, like a racing game on mobile would be fine. Like that'd be great. So I mean, there's stuff they could definitely do there, and to lead into that, to just give them another revenue stream is something that they could use because Sony, like all of their financials, like really PlayStation is the only thing that's uber profitable for them. Everything else is kind of like hit or miss. Like they do cameras well, their TVs are starting to make a comeback, but PlayStation is really like right now Sony's bread and butter. So if they can, get into that mobile market just to generate, more cash, it typically is going to end up resulting in more games. So hopefully it works out for them. You got a lot of people that are really invested in mobile, like Daniel. I personally am not a mobile gamer. It's just not my thing. But there are a lot of people that really, really enjoy mobile gaming, and it is a huge market. So I'm not surprised at all to see them really trying to get into it. Especially with, Sony being a Japanese company and mobile is huge in Japan. So if anything, just tapping into the market over there is going to be huge for them.
I agree. I think it's.
Yeah.
I wonder what they have planned. Honestly, I wonder what they have in mind to come out by March 2022. Is it Gran Turismo? I think that'll be cool. Like, hey, you can kind of like play Gran Turismo on your phone and buy parts with, hey, here, buy these 500 points and you can customize your car and stuff like that. That'd be an interesting way to go look at it.
Yeah.
Free to download.
We get Gran Turismo for PlayStation first, please? Can we get that one that's supposed to be here, please?
We're going to get that in 2030.
I was about to say 2023, probably.
They take forever with those games.
Like 3 or 4 times every time. Like, I don't know why they announced a release date for Gran Turismo at all because they never hit it. So.
It seems like Forza comes out every other week, and Gran Turismo comes out every 9 years.
That's like,
and all the Forza games are amazing.
It's like Forza Horizon 5 is going to come out this year, and literally Gran Turismo still won't be out. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, but it'll be great when it gets here. I mean, I feel like that DualSense is going to be amazing.
I much prefer Forza Horizon to Gran Turismo, anyways. But like for people who want Gran Turismo, can it actually hit its release date once? That'd be a nice surprise.
Did it ever actually have a release date?
It was supposed to release 2021. It didn't have like an actual dated date, but then they
had a year
earlier. Yeah. They announced earlier this year it wasn't hitting 2021. So.
Yeah. I mean, Forza Horizon is a different beast altogether. I mean, this is basically the equivalent of Forza Motorsport, which it's just a different game, different beast altogether.
Motorsport's more of a sim, and Horizon.
That's what Gran Turismo is. Yeah.
It's more arcadey, which I much prefer to like sim racing games.
I love Gran Turismo. Just oh god, it's so good. The looks, the sounds. Good. Oh man,
really nerdy.
I got a lot of fun. Yeah. Got a lot of fun memories of Gran Turismo. And I'm not
a car guy. That's the game because it is super nerdy. Like, hey, want to change this muffler to a 90-degree angle? Like, what? Like, all right, I guess we'll try this.
Suspension, your shocks. Engine intake, like everything. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So my last little quick story: Uncharted 4 coming to PC apparently, according to an investor call. So they're really trying to. It looks like they're really trying to lean into the PC space, which I think is a smart move by them, especially for some of their older games. Being able to put them on PC and just make more profit. Like I said, anything Sony can do to get more revenue streams is a good thing for them. And I mean, putting games on another platform doesn't hurt the PlayStation business. It only accelerates and grows it.
Yeah.
I understand people being like upset and not wanting to have stuff day and date, but when it's a game that's like this old and then launching on PC later, like I think that's only going to benefit everybody because again, when they're able to have more revenue streams, that's more budget to be able to make more games and bigger games and things of that nature. So people really need to stop being so like hard up for games to only come to just the PlayStation, especially when it's like their, legacy catalog games coming to PC later. Like you got to think about that's an investment into gaming to be able to, create more games. But I really like the fact that they're starting to lean more and more into, PC. So we just got Days Gone, which did apparently pretty well. It,
Oh,
it
it's
was
still
like
doing well.
one of the number one sellers on Steam, so it's doing well, which is great. I can imagine that Uncharted will do the same when it drops. It'll do really well. You've got a lot of people who haven't got a PlayStation but have had a PC and have been like itching to play PC titles. Like I can think of Rob, for example. He's wants to play a lot of these PlayStation games, but he's like, I'm just waiting for them to come to PC. Like he really wants God of War. God of War on PC will be incredible if they do that. Death Stranding was great, and I feel like honestly, if we could do a 6 month release, that wouldn't be so bad either. Like it
No,
doesn't
it
need to
wouldn't.
be 4 years, six
I
6 months, a year, be fine.
My favorite thing is right now is seeing all the people going just waiting for them to announce PC for Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm like, I don't know if we'll see day and date. I mean, I really don't know. They could. It would be a nice. It would be nice, but I don't know that they're gonna do that. And if they do day and day and date, it definitely won't be with Horizon. It'll be with something else. But
Yeah,
uh,
no.
currently, I think 6 months, a year, anything like that. That's great. Like just let people play them.
Yep.
But my favorite thing to see is people just commenting, just waiting for that day and date release date, and I'm like, you're gonna be waiting a while, bud. Like,
Yeah. Horizon Forbidden West definitely ain't coming to PC the same time it comes to console. If anything, it'll be a year, maybe a year and a half later, maybe even two, kind of the way, Horizon Zero Dawn did. Like it won't be that. It will not be day and date. But I definitely see it making its way to PC eventually. The tech is already there. They've already done Horizon Zero One on there. There's no reason not to put it on PC. It's just development time. Like you just got to develop it for PC. So after it's already done its thing on PlayStation, you take some of those profits, put it into developing for the PC, and then you restart that revenue cycle again. So it's a good business for them to be in, to lean into, to be able to create additional revenue streams for their companies and their games. So good on them. We need to stop being gateholders as gamers. Like it's not a good look. It's not beneficial to anybody. Being able to have games multiple places for multiple people to play doesn't hurt anybody. It's just beneficial. It's more gamers being able to play great games.
I agree.
So I'm excited for this. I probably wouldn't pick it up on PC to be perfectly honest, just because that's one game that I've already been through. I don't need to play it again. But I know a lot of people really enjoy the Uncharted, and if it's on PC, there's a lot of people that will get it and play it again just to see it in that fidelity.
I do see a lot of people going, well, I'm surprised they're not putting the collection there. Who says they won't?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that'll be a more daunting task just because it was developed for PS3
games. Yeah.
And we all know how difficult those games were to create.
Yes.
So trying to recreate that for PC may be much more daunting of a task and much more, involved than they want to be. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, speaking of Horizon Forbidden West, hey, we got a state of play. We had a state of play. It was 14 minutes after a 5-hour countdown, which I thought that it was not what I was expecting at all from that countdown. I thought it was going to be trailers or just information or something. It was just scenery and scenes from the game with coordinates. I was like, what? For 5 hours. I will say,
the music
I had it on the background and it was very relaxing. It made my work day very relaxing.
Who does a 5-hour countdown?
No. You want to complain about a 5-hour countdown? They told you it was a 5-hour countdown. You know who I got a bone to pick with? Fucking Ubisoft. Hey, we're starting at 9:30. Start with a 30-minute fucking countdown. What the fuck?
With the exact same thing that Horizon did. I was like, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna do
Yeah. Like, so I was watching the Kind of Funny reacts to it, right? Like I straight up went to Kind of Funny to watch it because I love, like, Nick is usually on the Far Cry reacts.
Oh my god!
Watching I was watching it, and literally this. Oh, okay. So the event's gonna be 30 minutes. Oh no! This is the Horizon thing all over again. And then the reacts ended up being an hour long, and they had to push Games Daily back because, like, they're like, "Fuck it, we've already gone through 15 minutes. We're not leaving and coming back. We'll just sit here and talk through it." Like, first ever Far Cry podcast. And I was like, they ended up getting Steven Spawn, Paris Lily, Khalif Jenkins, Khalif Adams. Sorry,
Khalif Adams.
Yeah, I know. I messed up his name. Khalif Adams. But, like, they all ended up popping in there. Janet Garcia popped in there for a bit. Greg popped in there for a bit. Blessing popped in there. Like, there were like 16 people on that reacts. It was great. But really, if you say your event, you're showing gameplay at 9:30 and then you start with a 30-minute countdown, fuck you. Like,
yeah, that was weird.
At least PlayStation told us there was going to be a 5-hour countdown, and then the actual event would be at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. So,
yeah, that was, oof. But yeah, the countdown was nice. You know, it was real relaxing. And then when people figured out, like, the symbols for north and west, and were able to plug the coordinates in, you can see that it's all just areas in the bay. So being able to see, like, what this area turned into after an apocalypse is kind of cool. I think it definitely didn't need to be 5 hours long. It could have been 2 or 3. I mean, they kept adding, like, new camera found, and it would just pop up another place or whatnot. But
yeah,
it was long. But once we got into it, we got 14 minutes of gameplay. What were you guys' overall thoughts? What did you guys like? What did you dislike? Start with you, Haley.
So I enjoyed it overall. Gameplay's great. Donnie already called this out in Discord, but, like, I'm already not a fan of, like, the Horizon stole from Breath of the Wild conversations that are happening because of, like, the fact that, you know, Horizon has a parachute now. Okay. You know, games take from each other all the time, and it's not a big deal unless they patent game mechanics. Side Eyes WB for their freaking patenting of the Nemesis system.
I feel like those two games are always going to be compared to each other for some strange reason.
Yep.
Sure, but games can take from each other all the time, and nobody bats an eye. Horizon takes something from Breath of the Wild, and oh no, did they Breath of the Wild size Horizon? No, fuck off. Like, that whole thing is stupid.
You got to just ignore it. Let them talk into the void.
It's hard to ignore it when it's the title of a podcast.
You don't listen to the podcast.
I mean, I listen to the podcast. There's a difference. But overall, I enjoyed it. Love the gameplay additions. Love Aloy's new outfit, which definitely makes sense because, like, that first gameplay trailer, which is riding across the not gameplay, but, like, the announcement trailer, which is riding across the beach in a Nora Brave movie. You're in, like, San Francisco. Are you gonna be, like, sweating to death in that? Like,
no, San Francisco's not a hot place. I
mean, it can get pretty hot, but
she had to get there. So once she gets there, then she can find a new outfit. But she had to get there.
Sure, but now you've seen her new outfit. It's cool to see that Aaron's back. Aaron was a good character. I'm expecting Talani to be back as well. But I think that will be it of characters that we've seen in the first game coming back.
Silence.
Everybody knew Silence was in the game. He was in the first trailer. I don't need to bring Silence up.
Just saying.
How do y'all think she found this new outfit? Did it do like a montage of like her in Rodeo Drive?
I don't know.
Like doing all the 80s movies.
maybe that'll be the montage opening like the first one, where the montage is her growing up. Maybe the montage will be her making a new outfit. I don't know. I mean,
it's going to be some vendor. It's going to be some street hustler that's got some new. I got what you buying? What you selling?
Yeah.
What you got?
Anyways,
Also selling New York Knicks hats.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see some recognizable San Francisco landmarks, though. Lombard Street in dilapidated ruins was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Polecaster. That thing's gonna be great, especially with the glider. Love that melee combat seems to be improved. A heck of a lot. Aloy has an ultimate now, which is interesting, but also love the addition that you can have 6 weapons now instead of 4. I paid attention to that when they showed the weapon wheel. Environmental destruction looks great. I'm sure it's only going to be in scripted moments, but still, it looks cool. The new dinosaur they showed, I forget the name of it, but like the chainsaw mouth it has, definitely very cool. Aloy got hair physics out the a-hole now. Her hair is so bouncy.
Good Lord.
Don't get me started on that. I saw a comment on that, which is so stupid. I don't even want to re-mention it.
No, I want to hear it. What's the stupid comment?
Somebody, some dumbass saw Aloy and saw like hair on her face and was thinking like, oh, are they making the character trans because they have hair on their face? Like, what are you talking about?
What the
women have hair? I'm like, women have hair on their face. Like, how is it not a known thing? People are stupid. That's all I gotta say.
Welcome to the internet.
I want to see if I can find this comment and get it to message. People are just morons.
Buzzwords. I wasn't talking about the hair on her face. Like, yeah, you can obviously see it now because, like, more detail. It was gameplay running on
awesome.
the PS5. Yes, it is. But I was talking about her actual hair. Like, it's so bouncy. It's like when they showed off Tomb Raider 2013 and they were like, oh yeah, we got Tress effects going. And I'm like,
watch her hair whip all over. I'm like, does it really always move like that? I mean,
Aloy looks like a real person now. It's cool.
I mean, yeah, but it's like Tress effects turned up to 11. Like, her hair is so bouncy.
Nobody's hair is that bouncy, especially in a braid. It's going to be a little more stiff.
Yeah, I mean, it's still cool though, but I love the underwater section too. I usually hate underwater sections, but the fact that they give you the mask and you can just stay under there as long as you want.
I'm like, thank you. So we do I have to find the rebreather? Do I got to go on a quest to find that thing? Can I just have it?
You might at first, like maybe one mission you won't have it, and then you'll have it like for the rest of the game. But I'm assuming you're gonna get it pretty early because this seems like what they showed seems like it's pretty early on. Because I don't know. It looks cool. The concept of the story looks cool. I know Donnie was like, I'm thinking of fun things to do. And I was like, there's no propulsion underwater for arrows. So like, you're not firing a bow underwater. It's literally my favorite gun scene in a movie underwater is John Wick. Cause it shows how bad firing bullets underwater is too. Like John Wick 3, you can't fire a gun underwater and expect it to do well. So I'm expecting you'll just be using like melee weapons underwater if you can fight underwater at all. They didn't really show any of that, but no, I enjoyed it, and
Yeah, I imagine that the underwater combat will be more melee based than anything. I don't think you'll be using bow and arrows underwater because that would be stupid. I can't even imagine trying to draw a bow underwater like that. No, no.
There's too much pressure.
Yeah.
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 So, what about you, Delvin? Any takeaways? Anything that really stood out to you? Anything that you really liked or disliked?
Looks great. Looks like what I expected it to look like. Is Horizon. Looks beautiful. It looks like a PS5 game. It looks beautiful as heck. Everything they showed me is what I expected from the game. So I just kind of want to just see. That's why when I said earlier it's a 5-5 for me because like I expected all this. It's cool. It's great. I want to see more of it when we get closer to the game. I feel like I'm so close to Ratchet and Clank now. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to just get into Ratchet and Clank, and I don't need to see this right now. This is something I could have waited on.
Delvin linked me some comments. I had already seen these, but fuck, bro, that shit looked alias as hell. No, it's the small hairs on her face, dude. Like, fuck.
This is again why I say why even bother reading the comments on the air.
People are
why
stupid.
Bother?
Did you see the other one that I was talking about?
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, people are dumb as fuck.
Yeah, I'm with you, Delvin. Like, there wasn't a whole lot that I needed to see from this game. Like, I already know what it is, and yeah, I'm more excited for like Ratchet. But even like with the Ratchet that like I didn't need that. Just I'm ready for the game to be here. With this, I mean, it's cool to see like you said, the polecaster to be able to like basically have a hook shot. I like the new combat stuff. That looks really cool. It's gonna be more exciting to use the melee combat because I feel like the melee combat in Horizon 1 just wasn't all that enjoyable. I mean, I really didn't use it too often unless I really had to. Once something was already down, I'd probably smash it. But other than that, like I really enjoyed using the bow. Having 6 weapons will be interesting because there were like so many weapons that I ended up not even using in the original Horizon. Like I used like the tripcaster and the bow, and that was pretty much it. So, and then you see videos of all these different ways you can take that. I was like, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So having a larger arsenal is going to be interesting, just to see what kind of things people do with all the different weapons. So that's cool. Did anybody else get Lord of the Rings vibes from the giant elephant?
Yeah.
Just me?
Yeah. I liked it. I like it. I like it.
Just waiting for it to turn into Legolas and just start launching bow and arrows and sliding down things on the shield.
That spear thing that explodes. Oh, I'm so excited to use that thing. That thing looks great. The spear launcher that's just like explodes on contact. Fuck yeah. Give me that.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. It's one of those. I'm probably gonna go like Zero Dark 30. There's not much more I need to see from this game. I'm excited for it. I'll be happy when it comes out. I'll be happy to get a release date closer to launch and be able to jump right into it. Hopefully sometime in the fall. But it looks really good. It looks like Horizon. It's another one for me like God of War. Like the game was so good, there wasn't a whole lot more I want to see from it. And the melee thing is probably the most exciting thing for me, being able to have better melee combat. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I want to know how big
melee, stealth, takedown, stuff like that.
I'm expecting the map to be a little bigger than the first one, which
Yeah.
But
just adding the underwater sections alone is going to make the map bigger because now you have like a whole overworld, underworld type thing.
But I want to see the map. Again, I've been pretty adamant. I expect this game to launch this fall. Like they've said again, like 4 or 5 times this year, the game's on track to launch in 2021.
I agree.
At the end of the video, they were like, "You'll hear from us very soon." So I'm expecting again we'll get another update in July or August, and they'll probably give us the release date then. I'm expecting around November, October for this. If it comes
as well.
If it comes in November, I'm expecting the 12th or the 19th because those are Fridays. That would be very interesting as well because people are expecting a November 12th release date for Halo Infinite if Infinite actually launches this year, which they probably kind of need. But COVID's been like a big thing, and it's pushed everything back, and nobody's really sure. But like I said earlier, in the case of Dying Light, I don't think they would have announced that release date if they weren't sure they could hit it. They stayed super quiet from like 2019 until now. Like there was nothing. They just went silent, started talking about Dying Light 1 again, and updated for Dying Light 1, and then they started posting those cryptic teases on Twitter with like the first day it was R, the next day it was U, then it was dying, then it was Are you dying to, and then the last thing was Are you dying to know, and then the reporters got all those like infrared posters or whatnot. So that was interesting to see. Which is why, again, I really don't think it's getting delayed. Like, they wouldn't have said anything if they weren't sure they could hit it. And I'm expecting the same deal with Far Cry as well, because that game was originally dated, and then Ubisoft went
For
super
February,
quiet
yeah.
on and then Ubisoft went super quiet on the release date when they had to push it back. So I'm expecting they're gonna hit that as well. So November 12th, 19th, I expect it. If it launches in October, I expect maybe end of October.
Yeah. Whenever they announce it, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I don't need a release date anytime soon. I know it's coming. I'll be happy when we get it, and I'll be diving into it and continuing the journey that is Horizon. One of my favorite games from the PS4 era. Really enjoyed it. Another strong female lead, which a lot of my favorite games on the PS4 have been led by female characters. So I'm here for it. Give me more Aloy. Let me go jack up some robot dinos. And yeah, good times. Really excited for this. Really good to jump into this whenever it drops. So fun times with Horizon.
Wow. Okay. What a great YouTube comment we just got.
Again,
Great. Love it.
that's why I said don't even bother with the comments. Don't even bother with it. Oh, now
Delvin,
you can see YouTube comments finally?
No, I've been able to see YouTube comments the entire time. I haven't been able to see Twitch comments.
I just opened it up right now.
I don't really want to say
Whatever.
fuck you to someone, but like, no, COVID's not a hoax. I know people who've died from it. Fuck you.
So have I. But we're not even gonna get into that.
I'm curious, how did this random ass comment come up?
Easy. You go to YouTube, you click on our live, and then you listen, and then you comment.
This is clearly a troll. Like, nobody was even talking about COVID, so fuck off.
We were talking about COVID and its relation to the game industry. I brought it up.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. It's whatever. Well, we're all excited for Horizon. Can't wait for it to come. We got Ratchet on the horizon. And then we'll have some E3 news. Hopefully we'll get, Sony will do something around E3 or around Summer Games Fest where we get more information. And that'll be awesome. Like, I'm really excited to see what happens this summer, what they're planning to do. The fact that we've actually gotten 2 state of plays relatively close to each other is nice, just to have a more consistent stream of information. That's always cool. So hopefully Sony keeps that up. And we'll get more information around E3 because right now, gaming news is popping. We're getting stuff left and right every day, just all kind of news. So hopefully Sony, keeps this trend up and we keep getting more information and less silence. Let's get us, some more. Let's have a really good E3 presence for Sony. That would be really, really nice. All right, well. Oh yeah, we had some the PS Plus games were announced.
Oh yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
I always forget about those. Really? I mean, Star Wars Squadrons is pretty good.
That's great. It's great. I'll add it to my library. I'm not a fan. Just give me the port for Jedi Fallen Order, and I'll be good. That's coming soon.
Yeah.
Leaks suggest the port's coming in June, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah. I think the games that we're getting for Plus is not a bad list. I mean, PS Plus still continues to be a pretty good bonus with the game. So you're getting Operation Tango, Star Wars Squadrons, and the new Virtua Fighter 5, which is launching day and date into PS Plus.
Speaking of Virtua Fighter 5, as someone who's a trophy hunter, fuck that game. Not because it doesn't have a platinum, but one of the trophies requires you to play 1,200 ranked matches and win every single one of them.
Well, for fighting game aficionados, that's something that they're gonna do. So, you're a trophy hunter, but if you're not a fighting game player, then why are you hunting those trophies?
No, I'm not playing Virtua Fighter 5 at all.
Yeah, then you don't.
I'll add it to my library because it's free, but I'm not playing it.
Yeah. But I think it's cool that like Game Pass has games that launch day and date in the Game Pass. We've seen a couple of these where we've gotten launches into PS Plus. So everybody who's always saying like, what is Sony doing to combat PS Plus or combat Game Pass? It's like, this is what, the 4th or 5th game that's launched into PS Plus for PS5. So they are doing something. It may not be as big as Game Pass, but we are still getting a steady stream of pretty good games on a PS Plus, as well as some day one launches like in the PS Plus for free. So it may not be, a a Halo Infinite, but getting a Virtua Fighter 5, getting a Destruction All Stars, getting a Bugsnax. Like there are some games getting Oddworld, even though we don't care for Oddworld at all around here. The fact that they are getting day one games launching into PS Plus is still a bonus. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. That's going to do it for episode. This is 84 of the PlayStation Experience. We hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to holler at us and give us a follow over on the Twitters at PlayStation XP. Stop by the blog at psvg.blog or over on our Discord at psvg.blog/discord and join us in all of our shenanigans there. Last but not least, we want to invite you to be a part of our Patreon over at patreon.com/psvg, where if you enjoy our content here, there is a ton of it to have for just $3 a month. We've got additional bonus episodes, all kind of stuff. Kevin is doing something cool with DLC, so we're going to start seeing one. And maybe eventually Delvin will get a DLC episode. Who knows? You know,
Not
just
happening.
leave him out to like a redheaded stepchild. You know, just, nah. And with that in mind, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of our producers all of our patrons at the producer level. Mr. Michael Masick, Barry Cathcart, Edwin Callow, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Rude Days 93, Ben and Moxham, Rob Emanuel, Nick Fallharbor, Paul Calico, Kyle Heyman, Grouchy Surge, myself, Josh the Bone Star Barboni, RJ Karn, Horse Grill 69, Zachary Adams, and Joseph Wilson. Thank you all for joining us in the journey that is PSVG. And with that out of the way, let the people know where they can find you at, Haley.
You can find me over on Twitter at Shepard Zarel. Currently just, shit post galore. And, obviously like retweeting like the nonsense that's going on with like anti-trans laws and shit like that. Like that fucking bill in Tennessee where they have to post signs on their fucking stores now that they allow people of both sexes to use the restroom. It's meant to like be like, oh, this place is inclusive of trans people, but it's more like to make the building a target. That bill also apparently has secret criminal penalties if it's not enforced and shit like that. Fuck that shit. It's garbage.
Eesh.
Anyways, that's my Twitter content. You can find me on a game platform choice at Haley Zarel. It's twitch.tv/Haley Zarel. I don't really have a return date yet, but soon, I hope. Got to get situated with the job and everything first too. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And then currently my nonsense over at Tumblr is Twilight Renaissance nonsense, because like that stuff's fun as well. Like people are obsessing over quotes in the first movie. And also a bunch of like Lucifer season 5 spoilers, which are tagged because Tumblr has a fantastic tagging system. So that's
Keeping
Haley's Zarel.
Tumblr alive.
Haley's
I wouldn't know.
I loved Justin's comment about that last week, how I'm like single-handedly keeping it alive. I'm like,
You are?
I use Tumblr more than I use Twitter or Facebook, and I only have Facebook to keep in touch with family members who don't have like Twitter. So
Tumblr. Still a thing. Still a thing.
Yep.
Still can't believe that.
It's very funny every time I see an article about how Tumblr died a slow death, and I'm like, we're still here. Like, my dash is still full of posts every day. So.
Yep. There you have it. What about you, Delvin? Where can the people find you and get all of your fantastic content?
You can find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox. Check out the Delvin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcast.
And you can find me at Dat Ninja Dev pretty much everywhere. All your social media things of choice, as well as gaming. Dat Ninja Dev is who I am, and you can find me pretty much everywhere at that name. And with that, long live play.
PlayStation